Hey, Honesties. Welcome back to another episode of Honesty the Podcast with your host, Zena, aka Top Tier Z. Before you do anything else, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video and share with a friend. Anyway, I am back with another solo episode, and I think I'm beginning to like these a little too much, but just enough, if you know what I mean. I am going to kick off this episode with my Fast Five of Would You Rather, featuring my producer. Go ahead.
How you doing?
I am good. I'm great.
Feeling good today?
I feel good every day.
Well, I hope you're feeling good because these questions are going to make you think a little bit.
As usual. There's always something with you. Let me brace myself.
So, would you rather do the cooking or the cleaning?
None.
No.
I'm joking. The cleaning. I can cook, but it's such a big task. Sometimes I just don't have the bandwidth, or I'm not that adventurous in the kitchen. I have my special dishes, and that's it. So,
Oh, I've heard.
so I'll clean.
So you're not the cooker, you're the cleaner.
I'm the taster.
The taster.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I guess the cleaner.
Okay. I guess. So you're going to clean everything.
Like
You
everything.
gonna make sure everything's clean. Like,
yeah, you gotta.
when the
like,
person cooks, you gotta clean all the dishes. You gotta make sure the kitchen is all kept spotless. So
okay.
yeah,
And wipe down the stove.
Mop the floor.
Okay, that's a bit much.
What you mean?
I'm not
Clean it.
No, not really. On a Saturday.
All right. Would you rather do the pleasing or get pleased?
Ooh, I ever get pleased.
You're so selfish.
I am. Just enough. Yeah. Sometimes
Why? Explain why.
Sometimes I just don't want to do so much work. Like my mouth hurts. Like
That's the only thing that pleasing comes with?
no, I don't want to think about someone else. Like I just want to lay back, relax, and just not have to do much. Sometimes I be tired. Like I want to sleep more.
Well, getting pleased it is.
Yeah.
Would you rather bring people back to life or stop people from dying?
Wait, what?
Would you rather bring people back to life, that chosen people that you want to bring back to life, or would you rather have people stop dying so you don't have to bring them back to life?
This is a selfish question.
Oh.
I'm gonna go selfish route because when you say people, like I would bring my people back to life. Like people
you
who are close
choose.
to me. Yeah. Whereas if I can stop people from dying, that means I can stop anyone. Yeah. God, I don't know. This is hard.
Yeah, I knew this would be a hard question to make you think.
I never had to think this much on a would you rather question because I usually know like which one I would rather. I guess bring people back to life, just because if this is a new thing, then I can only do the present and the future. I can't really go past.
Or you could make people live forever.
Plead the fifth. I don't know. This is hard.
You said bring it back to life, so we gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in a world without music or without art?
Ooh, without art. Yeah, I know.
Really?
Me, yeah.
No art?
Music is art. When you look at it.
But it's not that art.
It's not visual. And I'm a very visual person. But music, like, I cannot live without music. To me, like, art, and to a lot of, not to me, but to a lot of people, art is a luxury. Like, that's not something everyone gets to experience. Like, take, like, for example, I don't know if this is true, but, like, the little kids in Africa, right? You see the videos, they're dancing, they're feeling the music. It's life, they're so. How many of them you could show, like, a Mona Lisa painting to, and they're going to know this is a Mona Lisa? Like, that's like art is a luxury. music is
I'm just listening to
universal.
you, and I'm just like, okay.
That's fine.
It's still education in art. Same thing as is there's education in music.
I agree, but this was my would you rather.
I get it. Hey, listen, hey, we going with art. We going with music.
Stop
You
pushing your
can live
opinion.
without music. You can live without art.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sadly.
so would you rather be able to take back everything you say or hear every conversation about you?
Ooh, heavy conversation. That was a no-brainer. Because if I said it, like, I probably meant it, and if I didn't mean it, then I'll apologize and take accountability.
Yeah, but you can't take it back, though. It's
That's
said.
fine. It's sad. Like,
Okay.
you take accountability.
So you
It's up
rather
to the
say
other
everything.
person.
Tell me what you said about me.
What?
What did you say about me? I heard it all.
Yeah, I want to hear everything. Imagine it's like thousands of conversations at once. In my head, because 1,000 people are talking about me. Drive you crazy. Oh, hell no.
Well,
But yeah,
there goes your fast five.
Oh, that was good. I like those. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm gonna give y'all a little a little recap of my birthday because we're still in Libra season, closing out the month strong, y'all. I've been on a seasonal tour, like the celebrations don't stop. But if you've noticed, I've been a little not so a little MIA on the social media. You know, I took a little break. Like, your girl went to Aruba. I bought in my 33rd birthday in Aruba. And this podcast also turned 4 years old, which congrats to me and that. Okay. So I went to Aruba for my 33rd birthday with my little boo or whatever. And it was honestly the most relaxing vacation I've taken, like, in all my life. Like, I slept so much, and Aruba is such a beautiful country. Like, the beaches were, well, I only went to one beach, y'all. I was so lazy. I have no idea. The beach, the water was so blue and, like, clear. Like, you can see your feet and beyond when you look down. Sand just so white, and I needed a restful vacation. You know, usually when I go on vacation, I like to do a little of everything, right? So beach is a must. Like, the ocean is my thing. And then I do some partying. I'll do a little adventure. You know, like, I always like to do something new, but I was so tired. Like, I worked my ass off up until my birthday. Like, work was so busy. And I slept so much on vacation. Like, slept, beach, get fat. Like, the man was cooking. He's a better chef than I am. So, like, I am literally the taster. That's my favorite part.
So that's what you was cleaning a lot, huh?
Yes, that is why I was cleaning a lot. He cleaned a lot too, though. Only because it was my birthday, though. Like, yeah, I get a little spoiled, but yeah, I partied a little. I don't like the nightlife. Like, it's a lot of, like, Hispanic music, very much like the DJs don't DJ. They put on a playlist, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, whatever else they're using, and they just let the songs play. There's no mixing, there's no transitions, there's nothing except sound effects during its song. And I'm like, wrap it up. Like, I just got here 45 minutes ago and I'm ready to go. So just give Bait a look and we're out, because why am I listening to music from the 2000s? Just, y'all need to do better. I'm so sorry. Uh, besides that, though, like, I had such a great vacation. Food was good. I ate a lot. I think I gained like 5 pounds, you know. Already lost them. But anyway, and then I came back to New York. I did dinner at Habibi, which is this Mediterranean restaurant in Williamsburg. Kind of like a pop-up, kind of. It's kind of in like a warehouse building, Williamsburg slash Bushwick. And food was really good. Did it with 6 of my closest girlfriends. A couple couldn't make it, so whoever was there, and we had such a good time, y'all. I did seat arrangements based on like their zodiac signs, based on who knew who, and everyone just vibed so well. Like I was actually surprised. Shout out to Chantal. She took a whole tomato. They gave us like this little crudité and a whole tomato. They didn't serve it, nothing. So she took it home and she had it the next day. And then I did karaoke, and that was fun too. Everyone vibed. Like 10 out of 10 for this entire birthday experience. Like 33 is the year. But I asked my man for one thing for my birthday, right? Remember last episode, go back. I said I would rather give gifts than receive gifts, right? So I asked him for a handwritten card because I loved handwritten cards, letters. Like, I know it's not a love language, but that's like my personal love language, right? Because it's something I can have forever. I have short-term memory, so if you tell me something, I'm probably going to forget. But the night of my birthday, there was a little blackout or whatever. So he like spoke it to me. He didn't have a pen, right? So he pours his heart out to me. It's midnight, and I'm just here like smitten like a kitten. And and then I get my card a couple days later, and I'm so underwhelmed. Because I feel like he like spoke it up so much, and then I'm reading it and I'm like, this is not half of what you said. Like, where's the rest? So anyway, me being me, I told him I want another card, like really pouring his feelings out. Yeah, I just had to be honest. I told y'all if I get a gift and I don't like it, I'm not going to pretend. And he had one job. Pour your heart out to me. How am I watching Love is Blind? And they've only met these people a week ago, and they have their love letters that are deeper than what the man of 2 years is giving me in my birthday card. Like, what? Do I need to go on Love is Blind to get a handwritten note where someone pours their heart out to me? Like, I hope not. Anyway, I'm curious to see what he writes in this new card. But it was a nice card. Thank you, bae. But yeah, it wasn't enough. Speaking of Love is Blind, I've been binging since coming back from vacation. And y'all, listen, spoiler alert, if you're not even on episode 9, just skip over the next couple minutes because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But Tyler and Ashley, like, I am rooting so hard for them. I was rooting so hard for them. Kind of find out he's a sperm donor / baby father of 3 kids to someone he knows. Like, excuse, I don't even know if you're a sperm donor because you know this person. This is voluntary. Your stepdaddy, like. And to not tell her this, y'all, this man claimed he wants 7 kids, right? He quote unquote joked about it. Yeah, 4 plus your 3 that you already have. And like, there were so many conversations about children, and not once did he mention this to her until 2 weeks before the wedding. Like, I'm deceived. I feel deceived for her because who does that? Like, imagine like your man tells you, yo, babe, this girl I used to date asked me, she's single, she's over a certain age, the threshold, like pushing 40, whatever, the clock starts to tick. And she's single and she wants him to be a sperm donor to her. Like, tells him he doesn't have to have any involvement with the child. Like, she knows he's a great dad. She just won the genes. Like,
Yo, that happens.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna sit here and I'm not gonna say it's wrong or it's right, but there are a lot of situations where women have asked men just to do so.
Yeah, women can ask men, but as my man, if you agree to that, it's a hard fucking no for me. Like, especially if we don't have kids of our own yet. It would still be a hard no, which kids or not, it's a hard no, right? Like, you're not about to father someone else's kid because knowing the type of man you're with, you would know.
Some of them have even said, like, you don't even have to be fathered. Like, you could just, all they want is Your genetics.
I'm sure Tyler's.
Not like I said, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but there are so many instances of that. Like,
I get that, but it's still a hard no. I'm sure Tyler's own probably told him he didn't have to be a part of it. And guess what?
but
He's
three
in.
is
Hold
a
on,
lot.
I'm not
Three is
done.
a lot.
He's in matching pajamas. Christmas. You're at the delivery. Excuse me. Yeah, no. 3 is a lot.
Yeah,
1
that
is too much.
seems like
It's one too
a
many.
little more than just a segregated dad. Like,
Segregated dad. I've been trying to look for the term for it. That's what we're gonna go with. Yeah, that sounds like a mini family, a throuple.
yeah.
Poor Ashley is love enough. I hope she makes the best decision for her. Y'all, the fact that Ramsey's and Marissa's biggest issue is condom sex versus no condom sex and her not wanting to be in birth control is crazy to me. Like,
that show is wild.
this is what y'all are fighting about? Like,
That show is wild. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. What else is happening? I just yeah, those are my top 2 couples. Everyone else, I don't really care to talk about. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not here to speak about that. What I am here to speak about though is Nobody Wants This on Netflix. It's a series of Kristen Bell and Adam Brody, and it is literally like a little rom-com. You know, I like it firstly because it's only 30 minutes per episode. So it's pretty short and sweet. It's funny. And then I feel like it's an actual depiction of like healthy and evolved romantic love, like after 30. You know what I'm saying? Like the levels of vulnerability and honesty, like the way she opens up to him, you know, the way he opens up to her. And clearly they both felt safe, right? And I think part of the reason why they were able to be so vulnerable is because they were able to be their authentic selves with each other. There wasn't any judgment, you know, despite difference of religion and all these quirks that comes with that. Like when you're honest, when someone allows you to literally live in your truth and be you for you, like you kind of don't need to have a guard up because there's that safety and that vulnerability. Um, yeah. I was gonna get deep, but like I don't think I want to get that deep today. So I'm gonna move on. One part that stood out to me was when she kind of told him like she was scared if she opened up, he would think she's too much and like wouldn't want to get to know her anymore. And he was like, he reassured her, like, I can handle you. Like, it's okay, you know, you're not too much. And that's funny because I have a little story to share about that a little bit. So I was dating someone for like 2 months. And when we first started talking, I always like ask what you're looking for, like to see if we align or whatever. So we asked a question, and I was like, yeah, I kind of just want to be like someone I can, like that's mine, you know, and only talking to one person and vice versa. But like, I don't want to rush into a relationship. So he said the same thing, like, you know, cool. He doesn't want to rush either, because I was dating very intentional. So long story short, after like 2 months of us dating, he tells me he was gonna ask me to be his girlfriend like a week ago, but then realized that I required too much that he wasn't ready to give. And after that, I was like, I can't even look at you the same because, first of all, I said I don't want to rush into anything. So just because I said I would have said no, you don't know if I would have said no if you were back 6 months later, a year later, like 2 months, and you're upset, and now you start moving funny with me. Yeah, that threw me for a loop, honestly speaking, because I guess he felt rejected. But if I require too much, first of all, I always say anything I require, I am willing to give, you know, and if my standards were too high, if I quote unquote require too much, in what way, shape, or form, you knew that from the jump. So I don't understand why it was some realization that you couldn't handle it. You know, like that's my little story. So it was nice to see him reassure her in those moments or whatever. I do have one critique, and maybe he's a little red flaggy, but I think it was awkwardly weird that he moved on so quickly after breaking off the quote unquote engagement with his fiance. And I use quotation marks because she kind of proposed to herself. But I guess, he kind of just realized what he didn't want after his ex. Who knows? I've been
I just want to interject right there. So
Okay.
you feel there was an issue that he moved on quickly after you just said she proposed to herself.
No, that was nuts. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching. I was like, girl.
So maybe he didn't want to be with her in the first place.
You know. He
probably was leaving or left the relationship way before he left.
You gotta be a man. If you can't just do that. Like, if that's the case, take the ring back. Like, if
What do you mean take the ring back?
Exactly what I said.
Why must he take the ring back?
I mean, she found it, so why would you even leave that probability for her to find it if you don't want to be with her?
I don't know what you're talking about, so there's probably more context to the story. So.
No, that's not much. It's exactly what I said. So,
it seems a little, far-fetched. Like, you proposed to yourself, he moved on quickly after y'all broke up. What's the problem?
The problem is you should have taken some time to reflect. However, I did play devil's advocate within my own sentence and said maybe he just knew exactly what he didn't want. He met someone who was the complete opposite of this fiance, and so decided to give the relationship a try. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
But you call it a red flag.
I said red flaggy. Like, that was my only critique. And him living his faith for her. Like, that, I mean, that was a very romantic thing.
I guess.
But I feel like she could have, like, at least tried to learn about...
Men just, watch the red flags. Don't show them.
Yeah, that part. Just keep it in the talk. I also watched the Menendez brothers. That was pretty cool. I did not know what to expect. Had never heard from them. Actually, we watched Monsters while on vacation. And now there is another series called the Menendez brothers, I guess from their actual POV, because they were upset because this director who did Monsters depicted them as exactly that and kind of embellished the story just for the Netflix series, And so those brothers, like, they were really upset, actually. Yeah, because they didn't give him the okay to do that either. It was... I need to watch the Menendez brothers. Like, I need to watch that one. But that story was crazy, y'all. Like, ooh, I got chills just thinking about it in all different forms. Like, the murder just being super brutal. The sexual assault, on both brothers. The father being a weirdo. Like, just the way he effed up those boys' minds. Like... Yeah, it's a very touchy thing.
Alleged, so we can't really say what it is. Like, we have to see both sides of the story from the documentaries to see if the alleged sexual assault is even true. So that's what I gotta say on that. It's crazy both ways. Okay. If you molested your children and they turn around and, like, murdered you, and...
Do you think... Sorry. Because they were sexually molested, like, is that justification for what they did?
No. Not at all. Never.
Okay.
To kill your parents? Nah, come on.
Nah,
there's so many other things you can do.
Like what?
Go to the cops.
I'm like what? Let me hear this.
Get some help, some professional help. Like, there's so many other ways you could have resorted that problem out.
It looked like they were in therapy, though. Because
that's the they didn't admit. Hey, listen, I don't know how true that story is, and they didn't mention none of that stuff when they were in therapy.
You might have a point.
That didn't come until they were actually in court from the story. So I don't know.
I don't know either. But then again, I don't know many people many young boys at least, who's been sexually molested who even want to tell that story. So it can go either way. We will never know. And
They also never killed their parents.
yeah.
They've been at the end of the day, there's been a lot of stories, maybe without the sexual abuse, but just the formal abuse of parents and children. And you haven't seen much of those stories, like, especially with that fortunate. They're so fortunate they had a lot of money too.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, so could be an
Kinda like,
ulterior
what's the
motive. Who knows?
intent? Yeah. I see what you're saying. Moving on. I do want to move on to Tia Mowry and Cory Hardrict. And she has a new show on WeTV called self-entitled Tia Mowry, My Next Act, where she talks about her divorce, parenthood, co-parenting, motherhood, her relationship with her sister Tamara. Listen, I grew up watching Tia and Tamara. Like, that was my show. Even when it was on Netflix, I had to run it back. I think twice because I just really enjoyed that show, and I kind of follow their acting careers. And if you don't know, Tia is getting divorced from Cory, her first love. They met and started dating when she was 25. So it's over 15 years, 15 years of relationship and marriage. It's a long, long time. But they are getting a divorce and they are co-parenting, and she's doing this show where I guess all of that is documented. And she's also been on the Jennifer Hudson show and other talk shows or podcasts where she discussed some of the reasons why she filed for divorce, right? And one I definitely remember is her saying that she felt like she would go home and she felt alone, like there's a void missing in her marriage. Or people think she's in the perfect marriage and she's living the perfect life, and that's the complete opposite. She got tired of living a fantasy and now she wants to show the reality. So there's been a lot of talk on the internet in regards to this announcement. And also just the things she's been doing. She's been talking about dating, the dating pool, and all these things or whatever. As I was coming up with this outline, because shout out to me, I did my entire outline myself today, minus the would you rathers. Okay. Shout out to me on that.
Bravo.
AKA producer work harder. Okay. No, I'm joking. But not really. I'm joking.
The criticism.
Mind you, he was the one who's like, what are you talking about? What's your outline? And I was just like, let me just type some things up. He threw some ideas at me, but a couple of them stuck, like this one. But anyway, I formulated it. While I was doing that, the question, because I watched some clips of interviews of both of them, and then interviews of Cory by himself and Tia by herself and so forth. And Cory seems like such a good man, like just wholesome, selfless, kind, like super calm, and I don't know, I kind of feel safe when I when I watch him speak because he's just so calm and he seems very caring, right? And the question of whether or not could he be a good man and just be not a good partner or husband, right? Like, I actually kind of briefly spoke about this a couple episodes ago, way back when, honestly, there was a trio, way back when. But is it possible, that someone they can have so many qualities about them and character traits that make them a good person, but are they a good person for you? As I said, Tia and Cory got together 15 years ago when she was 25. Like, who's to say he wasn't a good partner there then, or a good husband, the husband that she wanted, and over time, people change, relationship dynamics change, the more you get to know yourself and grow and evolve. Like, there are things that you may do away from, or new habits and stuff that you may take on. And maybe, and she says she'll come home and feel empty, like as if there was a lack of intimacy, right? So, as much as he's a good father, he's a good person, when you're not intimate with the person you're with, if that's something they require, or you being a good partner, I mean, is that grounds to leave your partner? No, but over time, an accumulation of things can make you do. It can be a breaking point, and
So
oh, I have an interjection.
yes. I had to.
Please do.
I had to. We're gonna let those sirens go by. Somebody save some lives.
Yeah, I don't compete with
Save that
sirens.
life. Sound like an ambulance. However, so you think he lost interest or somehow changed who he was to be a worse person to who he was becoming? Because that's what it sounds like.
A worse person?
Yeah, because if she liked him in the beginning and then felt like he wasn't a better man in the end, then he became a worse person than he was before.
I mean, that is...
It went from good to bad to worse.
Apparently, like, I was...
So you think it was him?
I mean,
because I didn't hear any accountability given to her. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not done though. I'm not
Okay,
done.
okay,
And I'm not a
let's
biased
go.
person. So, now let's go. Okay, well done. Maybe Cory's not a good husband, but is a good man, right? On the other hand, Tia probably just didn't know what the hell she wanted. Like, he was her first everything, first boyfriend, first love, first sexual experience, first everything at 25. How much, one, of yourself do you really know at 25? And two, when you haven't dated, or been in a relationship prior to, how much about relationships do you know? Right? So perhaps at that time and stage in their life, he was what she wanted, what she thought she wanted. And the older she got, the more she realized, like, I haven't dated much, I haven't had much experiences. The curiosity starts to build, like, what else is out there? Like,
That's even worse. It's even worse.
what?
So you rather go taint your opinion and options and weigh them out instead of having what you wanted, what you fell in love with, what you adored, to just say, hey, no, I want to try something else.
Yeah, maybe
so,
that's what she said. And this is why I encourage you, date while you're young, to at least figure out what you want, because please stop.
It's a tough one to swallow.
Can I have one mic, please? Anyway, date while you're young to figure out what you want instead of wasting your youth. I won't say wasting, damn. That's a strong. That's strong. But no, instead of, like, ending up single later on in life, right? And I think oftentimes when you say date while you're young, a lot of times people they think that's attached to having sex, right? Like, you can date without having sex, right? Women control the sex, men control the relationship as far as making you their girl. So y'all need to... I feel like men here date while you're young and they think I'm telling you to be a hoe or, like, go through a whole phase. No. Like, learn people, learn to have difficult conversations, figure out what character traits and people you like, what are your non-negotiables, what you're willing to compromise on before you make a lifelong decision and commitment. Like, it's really that simple to me. And she didn't do that. It's like now she's 40 something years old trying to date in this day and age and with this dating pool. And she's realizing there's not much out there. Welcome to what everyone else, every single person is also realizing or have realized over the last couple of years, and it can go one of two ways, when you realize like, hey, there's the options or slim, like they're just not cutting it. They shouldn't even be an option. Um, you could start missing what you had, right? As with anyone, I would think, when you had a good thing and you thought the grass is green on the other side, which eventually a lot of us learn it's not, then you want that old thing back. And so maybe she could be in that stage where she's like, wow. I mean, she said it herself, take me back to where I belong. Um, yeah. Who, I don't want to say whose fault is it, you don't want to place blame on one person. As I've shown, I can look at it two ways. My brain can still look at it more ways, but I just want to hear what you guys think as well. So let me know in the comments what you think is happening there. And is he a good man and just not a good husband? Should Tia have explored her options earlier in life? Let me know. Let me know what y'all think. Okay. For the first time, y'all, I actually forgot what's next on my outline. This is crazy because I like to pride myself on like not needing cue cards, not needing a laptop. Sometimes I have a phone, but also my producer comes through and shows me what I need to talk about sometimes. But I do wanna got it. I got it. Thank you. I just like to pride myself on being able to remember my outline and just letting my conversations flow. Anyway, next on the agenda, as Halloween is approaching, y'all. First of all, what are y'all gonna be for Halloween? Like, I don't really celebrate, but I love to see the costumes. I love the creativity, whether it's makeup, whether it's the entire outfit. Like, I love it. So I'm excited to see what you guys dress up as. But I was on the Shade Room and Kayla Nicole came up. If you guys don't know, she dated Travis Kelce prior to him dating Taylor Swift. She also dated Iman Shumpert, who is Tiana Taylor's ex-husband. God damn, Kayla, if I were you, I would hate the name Taylor. Whether it's a first name, last name, no Taylors in my life because the Taylors are snatching up your man, girl. They have snatched up your man. But she was on Angel Reese's podcast, and Angel asked her what was like the craziest thing she's done for love or with an ex or whatever, right? And she tells the story of her ex leaving her for a famous musician, yada, yada, yada. You do the math. She's talking about Tiana Taylor. And so for one Halloween, she dressed up as Tiana from Kanye West's Fade video. If you remember, she had on like the gray wife beater with like the brown panties, or I can't remember the color scheme. It could be flipped, curly like bob hair situation. And Kayla did that, and Iman was just like, "You're crazy, like crazy." So anyway, I want to share what's the craziest thing I've done for love or while in love. And y'all, I'm embarrassed to even say this. Like, a man had me crashing out, like me. Like, it's usually the other way around. But I climbed through his window and let me tell y'all the story, right? So I'm learning how to drive. I'm on a timeline for when I want to get my license, right? So I work a 9 to 5. I got to go home, be a mom. I'm like, pick me up for like 10 o'clock so we can go driving. Cool, because at that time, there's not too many people on the road. It's still a little busy. It's a realistic time or whatever. My daughter's asleep. Cool. So I get a text like, hey, babe, I'm going to Long Island with my boy. Like, can we schedule driving for tomorrow instead? So I'm like, sure, yeah. I'm going to hit you up when you get home. Cool. Not a problem. So it's like 9 something, right? So I'm all right. Let me give him some time, whatever. It's like 12 something. Texting, no response. Probably call once, no response, no pickup. Cool. So I go on Instagram and there was this girl I knew he was talking to. So I go to her page, go to her story. What do I see? His hands. I am probably the most observant person on this planet. Like, I can literally look at someone's post on Instagram and I can see the kind of dishes that they're using at a restaurant and I can tell you what restaurant that is. Like, I'm just that kind of observant, right? So if I know my man's hands, I know my man's hands. There's a little chairs boomerang going on talking about my booze. It's like 3 hands. Hers look like a man hand too, but that's neither here or there. So at this point, I'm like, oh, really? So you lied to me about going to wherever with your boy, and you're fucking up my driving lessons, knowing that I need my license within a certain amount of time. So what the fuck are the priorities, really? Because you could have just been straight up with me, right? Again, just let me know what's happening. But instead, you chose to lie. I don't like liars. It is my biggest pet peeve. I just don't fuck with it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pop up because, yeah, I'm going to ruin your night because you chose to lie to me. So cycle me. I'll call someone like 15 times, like, just to make you uncomfortable, just to be a bug. Like, I will irritate your life. Like, whatever you have going on, I'm going to be
typical woman stuff.
I'm going to be an inconvenience. No, typical man to lie. Anyway, like I was saying, right? You lied. I will call you 50 times. But I'm already calling, but my Uber's already here to pick me up so I can go to the house. So I get there, and I think he picked to the phone, was like, yo, why you calling me mad times? First of all, whoa, I could have been dying. Like, this is how I know you're guilty already, because what's up all the animosity? Like, papi, calmate. Like, what about, hey, babe, is everything okay?
How you dying and calling somebody?
Because 911 didn't pick up. You're supposed to take me to the emergency room, so this is why I'm calling. So, not concerned about my well-being. Aggressive, like, I already told you. Whoa, okay, guilty. Yeah, let's continue this Uber ride. Get there, ringing down the doorbell. He comes to the window, move the little curtain aside. First of all, open the door. Like, why is the door not being opened? I could have been dying. Moves the curtain aside. What are you doing here? Like, you serious? Like, it's 1 something. It could have been fucking 3 a.m. Yeah, what's up? Open the door. No. So you're not going to open the door. Okay, you're going to talk to me through this window like we're in prison. Like, I don't do that. Like, I want to come through the door. I need to be inside to see what's happening. Yeah, no, he's not opening the door. So I climbed through the window. Like, it was a struggle. Like, he tried to fight me off. Like, I get what I want by force, by asking. I'm going to see what's happening in there. So I get through the window. At this point, shit is chaotic. And guess what? She was in there. And like, you lied because it could have all been so simple. You could have just told me the truth from the jump, you know? And then let me decide what I want to do. But instead, you forced me to be crazy and climb through your window. I had to ice him after that because, I mean, were you dumb? Anyway, yeah. That was the craziest thing I've done while in love.
I'm pretty sure you did some other crazy stuff too.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure you did other crazy things. That's probably one of many stories.
Yeah, I'm a little psycho sometimes. Like, honestly though, y'all, I'm real cool little. Am I lying? I'm real cool, calm and collected, but like when you lie to me or when there's like certain things you just like F upon, like I just see red. Like I gotta crash out. Like,
we gonna have to do a show when we interview one of your exes or something. So
Oh, wow. We are not doing that. First of all, it's going to be problems because all my exes are still in love with me. So, yeah, I don't think anyone wants that to happen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um, Speaking about my birthday and karaoke, you guys, like I said, everything was all peachy keen and everyone had a great time and got along super well. But towards the end of the night, there was a little dilemma with one of my friends and my man. And I want to pose the question of what happens if your friend does not like your boyfriend or the person you choose to be with, or maybe not even not like, but they just don't get along, right? Like,
Or it could be vice versa, where your man don't like your friends.
all that too, right? Like, it can go either way. What do you do? Like, me personally, like, I don't really see a reason why we all need to be together. Um Unless if it's like a birthday, but like other than that, like what is the reason that we all need to hang out? Especially if I know you guys don't get along or don't like each other, right? Like, why would I even put y'all in that uncomfortable position? If it's the first time you guys have met and, something happened, cool. Mental note, keep the two of them separate. Do not mix them, right? However, if it happens one, it happened twice, it happened 3 times. Like, why would you keep putting them in the same environment? Like, you have to take responsibility both as a partner and a friend. And I do want to pose this question to the men too. Like, what if what if you don't like I'm having a slow moment?
You all right?
No, how would I flip it? I forgot the
What
initial.
if you didn't like your homeboy's girlfriend? Like,
No, I'm asking the man. It's the same thing.
well, bros always over hoes, so
Wow, that's it. Birds over hoes.
yeah,
Well done.
he ain't gonna be riding with me at the end. So
Sis over misses. That's what the girls are gonna say. Gonna say. No, honestly though,
sis over misses. What? Nah.
sisses over the misters. I feel like honestly there was a whole disagreement happening. There was a whole verbal exchange, and I was just like listening. And then eventually I was just like, enough. Like, both of you, just stop. Like, first of all, I'm drunk. Secondly, it's my birthday celebration. Thirdly, it's 4 a.m. in the morning. What the hell are we disagreeing about? Like, seriously, I just don't have the mental bandwidth for it at this point. But I think it's important to know your boundaries, both as the friend and the partner. Like, always try to be respectful of each other, because clearly, if these are the people that your person has chosen or your friend has chosen or to be with, then clearly there's a reason why they're in their lives in whatever position or role they play, so I think you
Well, I have a question.
why are you interrupting me?
I have a question.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just because I don't want you to get past it, and then we can't go back to it. So let's just put it out there.
Go ahead.
So suppose the friend felt like that's not the right partner for you, and then on the flip side, your boyfriend partner felt like that's not a good friend. So how do you splice that?
Navigate that. You both mind your business. No. Yeah, no, for real.
Because that could be the reason why they don't like each other.
Possibly, yeah. That's very true. But again, this is what it comes down to: trusting your partner or trusting your friend, right? Like, at the end of the day, there's a reason why my friend chose this partner, and there's a reason why I'm friends with my friend, and they've chosen me as a friend. So why am I gonna question that reason? I don't feel you should. I don't think you should put. Both people are gonna look out for the well-being of said common individual. However, I think it's unfair to puts your person, whether it's a friend or spouse, through these uncomfortable conversations, whether it's talking about their partner, talking about their friend. It's like, just be respectful. Just act like they don't exist, unless if you have to be in the same room. And if you are in the same room, that have a mutual respect, respect boundaries, and stay in your lane for both of you. Like, that's really how you feel about it. Like, we're mature enough. Otherwise you both gotta go. Sorry, not sorry. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep. It's not even a choice at this point if it's something that keeps on happening. But let me know what your thoughts are and how you would navigate that situation if it was up to you. Anyway, that concludes today's episode. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, go listen on audio also. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and everywhere else you listen to podcasts. Like, if you're not a watcher, you can be a listener. Sometimes you want to do one or the other. So I have options, okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. I shall see you all next week.